welcome back to our next episode of Aiki Insights. I hope you're enjoying the program as much as we're enjoying making it.
Yep.
And thanks for all the positive commentary that we've seen in the so far, right? And feel free to post questions that we'll do our best to explore, or any comment or any topics or principles or things techniques you'd like us to explore. If we have questions that we don't have the responses or the experience in answering, we'll default to a higher authority, and then we'll get back to you with what we're told.
Yeah, and if you have any feedback in the sense of, guys, can you please explain that block in more detail, or I didn't understand this, or I disagree with you on this, more than happy to have a look and search for ourselves too. Because this is not just for us to, we're all high and mighty explaining things, we're learning too.
This is where we're at the moment. Yeah. Following on from our last episode, or past episodes, we talked briefly about preemptive striking. We want to focus today on the role of Atemi. And pardon my French, the bullshit idea that Aikidoka can actually put on a joint lock straight from a strike or straight from someone. We understand that that's quite a fallacy.
Yeah.
Hence the reason Atemi is actually a key point of Aikido. And you read any of Gozo Shioda, Kancho Sensei's books, he'll talk about 80% of interactions, or violent interactions, needing Atemi, or always starting with Atemi.
Yeah, that's also a part of off balancing your uke. So we practice like a lot of moves that unbalance without Atemi, because we're trying to learn how to use our body to unbalance our partner, but striking is also a form of unbalancing.
So if I just came up and tried to put an ikkajo on, for example, I just grab him, this is not going to work. Even if he's strong, he's angry with me, and he's going to, I need a good dental plan. So I need to use Atemi first, whether it's shomunuchi here, okay, or whether it's tataken, all right? It doesn't matter as long as Atemi is coming, or even here, the shimatsu dosa here. But I don't want to drive him away from me too much. I want to provoke a response that I can utilize. So if it's shomunuchi, then I can and continue on with whatever, right? Or even tataken, and throw with kote gaeshi or something, right? It's quite naive to think that I can just come up, or I can respond from any strike and then put on. I'm dead. So if it's a strike coming, I need here and there. Throw. Okay? Or in the beauty of Aikido practice, 1, 2, 3. So it's important that we understand Atemi is a really important role, a part of Aikido training.
Yeah, it is a misconception. I don't think we can speak, I can't speak anyway for other styles of Aikido as far as Atemi, but with Yoshinkan Aikido, Atemi's like in most things we do, even the basics you saw, like even this movement, 1, off balance, then you start the technique. So
we're going to try and explore a few techniques now without use of Atemi, and then with the use of Atemi. Okay? And you want to start?
Look, I think I love that kote gaeshi.
Okay,
Yeah.
so let's start with kote gaeshi. Any strike or punch. Clearly a fail. Let's do the same thing, and I'll use an Atemi of some sort. Sorry, that was Shionagi, not kote gaeshi. Let's explore a grab now. So let's, for example, I'm just gonna come in and grab him and then punch him. Okay. So if he doesn't do anything first, he's just club it first, right? If he just tries to put something on with strength, nothing. He uses the principle of leverage first. One, I can't stop that if he comes back. If I'm going to try and stop it, I can't, because the angle is just irreversible for me. Okay, so here, I grab, that becomes a block. We spoke about this in our ikkajo episode. Then without Atemi, he just tries to put ikkajo on. Now with Atemi, major difference.
Yeah, major.
Do you want to talk through it?
Yeah, so actually, Ryan and I came across this in class today. I was taking uke for him while he was teaching, and so I'll be Ryan right now as he's teaching. Okay, so he lifted up and he was demonstrating Atemi, and he went for a punch, which made me come under. Okay, so see this? So someone's obviously called from a punch. Okay, it's left them off balance just to easily take into an ikkajo. So that was something interesting.
The other thing about this action coming up here is it opens the vulnerability here. It doesn't close it down. A boxer or a fighter who's going to receive something in the kidneys or in the ribs, they close down. So punch coming in here, if I didn't have control of this, he closes down, crunches, brings everything together. Intercostals play their role. But with this, up, it all opens and it makes it much more vulnerable. We grab here so that if he lets go, it doesn't matter. Drive into these floating ribs, around into the kidneys, doesn't matter. Even up under into the jaw. Atemi is really important here.
Yes. So now we're just going to demonstrate two traditional techniques, sankajo and sumi otoshi. But don't get us wrong, we're not trying to say, like, we're going to show the traditional way of doing it, which is very important to your development, but we're just going to show why you wouldn't use it particularly on the street, okay? It's
in that way.
in that way, yes.
It develops all the principles and the necessary mechanics so that you can do the technique well.
Yep. Yes. Yes.
In a shortened version, but which you need to do in
Yes.
dojo, right?
That's right. All these movements we do, and I don't want to talk too much about
For
it.
example, sumi otoshi.
So sumi otoshi, we like off balance, step through, and throw. Okay. The principle makes sense. You take them off balance and you push through the vulnerable uke off balance.
Sankajo the same. Hand on top, side step, weight onto the inside leg, step underneath, engage your center, lock, step out.
Yes, and like, so that sankajo worked. I'm pretty sure the sumi otoshi, the power going through, worked. So these are the reasons we practice these principles, okay? But to use it in self-defense or a real manner, you wouldn't do that, okay?
Yeah, well, uke is not going to be so compliant.
Yeah, correct. But again, we have to reinforce that it's important to train like this to develop your body to move properly.
You can't do the other without the earlier.
Yes, correct.
All right, so we're going to do it with kento gata. Kento gata. And do you want to talk through the principle of kento gata? We sort of alluded to it last time.
Yeah, sure.
Mori Michiharu Shihan introduces many evolutions into his syllabus of Aikido, of Yoshinkan Aikido. Kento gata is one of those.
Yes.
He was once a boxer himself, but it's jab cross combinations, okay, and other things. But first from kento gata, we need to understand that we can never, as we mentioned before, we can never just grab things out of the air. And Aikido principle isn't about conflict either. So it's not a karate block, yeah. It's a weight distribution and off-balance kuzushi style. So the first one comes, cut down. I'm not grabbing, I'm connecting and dropping my weight. Okay? So in a normal timing, sort of looks like, see how he's just off balance? So kuzushi before the Atemi. So now we'll add the technique.
Yes. So I'm going to do sumi otoshi. Okay, this is something you learn like in jiwaza, which is freestyle throwing, one of the first techniques you actually learn. So, like Ryan said.
So all my weight's on my front leg now.
Yep.
Yeah, I can come up, I'm gonna come up.
Yeah, and again, let's just say he is a bit off balance, but let's say brute force meets brute force. There's no way in heck that I'm going to move him, okay? But look where I am in my positioning, okay? Nothing wrong with throwing an elbow straight into his face, okay? And now that is enough to probably throw him off balance shot and finish off the technique. So that's just one example.
Let's just do that slowly again. I punch one, he connects, weight forward. I'm still balanced, but I'm not completely balanced. My weight's forward on this leg. So I'm throwing my second, I'm now sumi off balance there. Now you might think, oh yeah, but a good boxer wouldn't do that. A good fighter wouldn't do that. A good fighter would come, they're still going to be balanced, but now I over-exaggerated the off balance. It's more the weight distribution onto my front leg so that I'm not completely comfortable.
Yeah, definitely.
So 1, 2, my weight's all here now. I can't go any other way than forward. He's created that.
Yes, and then before I did an elbow, but that's not the only option. Straight to the face, okay? And now he's actually in a position that's perfect for you.
And we're rolling, obviously.
Yeah.
The other thing is, just don't throw like with the real throw doesn't. If I'm not trained in Aikido and I'm not going to do Zenpo Kaiten or Kemi, I'm more than likely going to go down this way onto concrete with my head.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Anything bad?
Yeah, so yeah, the rolling is just for safety reasons during training. The reality is, the thing that's most likely going to hit is the back of your head onto the floor.
It allows us to do a full force throw with safety, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay. Another iteration of this from kento gata is sankajo we talked about. So same thing, it comes 1 off balance, 2 off balance. Now here, if he's strong, obviously that's coming. If I just stand around, the next thing obviously is the next hand. And even if I don't use Atemi and he's strong, I go underneath. I try to put sankajo on. I'm getting punched. Good luck.
Yeah.
But the principle is, first we learn 1 off balance, 2 off balance, kuzushi. Then we come underneath, put in position, step and shoot, forward and throw. Okay? But Atemi plays a role in the middle of that. Here. 1, 2. Now his weight is this way, not this way, ready to throw a punch with balance on his hips.
And good luck trying to fight someone in this position.
So under. Whoa! And stretch. One more time. Behind. Even on the back.
Yeah. I think it's important to highlight that we're not trying to trash talk traditional training. Traditional training is important on so many levels.
It informs the application of the technique in any form,
Yes.
in any iteration.
Yeah. It's important for development of your body, your mind, your spirit, because you're trying to stay disciplined and focused and develop everything how it's meant to, from the foot to the head.
Yeah, and what we've found is the more that you just drill and drill and drill these, the more it becomes muscle memory.
Correct.
And you're not thinking, you come into a no mind.
Yeah,
Or
correct.
the aspiration is to move into mushin.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed that episode on Atemi. Feel free to comment underneath for any questions or any respectful commentary.
Yep, and like and subscribe if you enjoyed it and you want to keep following us. We'd love to see you again.
See you next time.